At what age should you give your child a phone and what you should do when you give your child a phone? I saw this video from Elaine Cardone, I believe that's her name. I thought it was brilliant and I wanted to share it.
My kids come to me and if they want the latest iPhone or the this or the that,
What do you
it's a
say?
yes.
It's a yes. So
A
what?
million percent. You want the new iPhone? Abso-freaking-lutely, dude. There's no scarcity. What are you going to do for that? Are you going to make phone calls and raise 500,000 for Cardone Capital? You're going to sell a 10X diamond ticket? How you want to do it? You want to clean all the waste paper baskets for the 200 employees? You can do the mailers? Like what is it that you want to do? But you can earn anything. You're not in a not have. You can create anything you want. It's a real thing. When they were really little, they had a starboard that was tacked up to the refrigerator. Every 20 stars got them a 20-star gift.
What's a 20-star gift?
Whatever they wanted at Target. And it's
a good
their
one.
gift. By the way, it's their gift. So if they bought a little car and then they came home and wanted to hammer the car and smash it, it wasn't me going, "What's wrong with you? I just bought you this." No, it's theirs. They had to pay for the plane. When they were like 5 years old, they had to give me their entire piggy bank and I took it.
I love the way that she approached giving her child a phone in this context. I think it's a phenomenal example. Let me know what you think below. And I was scrolling through her account and I found another video that I thought was a great addition to the first video on what age she thinks kids should get phones.
What is a good age, you think, for moms to let their children get on social media?
I think that they have to determine based on the kids. I think 10 and 11 and even 12 are too young. And I do think I made a mistake in that area by letting them get on too early. I would definitely caution against that. There's too much focus on body image. Plus there's too many out there over relationships from instantaneously to months and months and months.
If there was a specific age.
Probably around 14, 15. And I do think when you give the child the phone, it should be that it is not their phone, that it is a borrowed phone and you can take it at any time. It's a privilege and you should probably collect the phone at a certain time past 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever you're comfortable with. Set expectations for them as to the guidelines of what's going to be the circumstance that you allow them to be on social media and have a phone.
As someone that grew up with social media and online gaming, my first smartphone was like at 13 years old. I first had like little Nokia thing and then I moved on to like, I think a Samsung Galaxy or something, 10 out of 10. I started online gaming at 13 years old and I'm so happy that I did not start earlier. I think 13 is like the youngest that kids should be online or having their first phone or being on social media or video gaming. Typically, this is for most kids. This is not really for everybody because some kids, they can get it as young as 8 or 6 years old, and some kids it's better at 16 or 17. So here's how you can quickly determine what time you should give your child a phone. Remember, this is a very nuanced conversation. There's not going to be a one size fits all. Knowing yourself and knowing your child, like she said in the clip as well, is so important. Your life circumstance matters a lot, and the reason why you're getting the phone matters a lot. So while it's better to wait until 8th, wait until they're 13, wait until they're 16, it really does depend. So if you feel like your child is responsible enough, mature enough to keep the phone with them, to text you, to let you know where they are, you have code words if they're ever in a situation where they need out immediately. They understand that they worked for this phone, they did something for the phone. However, if they're mismanaging the phone, then because you're the one who bought it, most likely you can take it away from them. And they know that this is a loan until they're able to make their own money and get their own phone and do whatever they need to do. Now we can have a conversation about different types of phone. Do you want to start with a smartphone? Do you want to start with a flip phone? Flip phones don't have as much personal, like a lot of parental control on there. So that's something you want to think about. Smartphones have a lot more parental controls and resources to protect them and track them, all consensually, of course, while talking to them about it. And then there are third-party company phones that are like dumb phones that have smartphone capabilities, but they're very locked down. I'm a little bit wary about them unless the company focuses on security and safety and privacy of the phone. That's a whole other conversation. If you want me to have it, I have a background in cybersecurity and threat intelligence. I can do a little deep dive on it, so let me know in the comments. And one of the most important things you want to do to decide when and how you should give your child a phone is your gut feeling. You can look at what other parents are doing, like what she did with her child. And if your gut feeling is this is not going to work for me, this is not going to work for our family, this is not going to work for my kids, then don't do it. But if you have this feeling of like light or something like, oh, actually, that's a really good idea, I want to try that, then try it. You know your child best. You're the expert in your child, nobody else. So it's really not about the age in particular, but it is your child and their maturity level and your ability to manage whatever phone you give them. You don't have to be tech savvy to protect your kids on their phone, but you do have to know yourself and you do need to know your child. Also, it's way better to give your child the phone before they go off to college or off on their own, because you don't want your kid to become the kid in the candy shop where as soon as they have their own freedom, they're doing whatever they want. You want to give them some freedom while they're in your house so that they can fail safely. You can be there to help them through all of the mistakes that they're going to make when they have a phone because they're a human being. Let me know in the comments what age you think kids should get a phone, or what age are you getting your kids a phone, or what age did you give your child a phone, and do you regret it or not? As a recap, here is when you know your child is ready for a phone. You waited until they absolutely needed it. Your gut is telling you it's time, even if you're a little bit afraid. You know how to set up the phone with safety, even if that just means like plugging into YouTube to Google how to set up this phone. You're having open, honest, non-judgmental conversations with your kids about anything and everything, because as soon as they get the phone, especially smartphones, there's a whole can of worms. You're gonna have to be talking about a lot of things. So you're mentally preparing yourself to have it, or you're already having those conversations. You know that your child is mature and responsible enough to have a phone. And of course, you're following accounts like mine to guide you through the journey of protecting your kids online. I'm Cyber Farida. I have a background in cybersecurity awareness, threat intelligence. I'm an award-winning Forbes 30 Under 30 internet safety expert. And my mission is to help you protect your kids online with love and joy in a way that feels right for you and your family.